All right, Chaz Bryant here for Carolina Warrior TV and MMA-Insider with some recaps and some highlights and some overall post-fight stuff for Fight Lab 38. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. And lo and behold, I have found a drinking happy man. You got Mr. Mike Cornbread Allen, got a nice tasty beverage. We're not sponsored by anybody, and we're on the internet, so it really doesn't matter if you're drinking right about now.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure that's nice and tasty right
Not that I would care anyway.
No, you really wouldn't. All right, let's go through some of the fights. Let's just start off with the one that I'm sort of lost my voice about, which is the main card, the main event. Keith Richardson versus Eric Calderon. That was that sort of happened in our minds. That's sort of how it played out, didn't it?
Yeah, Keith did exactly what I thought he would, or what we said he needed to do, which was keep it under control, be the veteran in the cage, and he came out with armbar.
Yeah, no real surprise there. What would you say that Eric has to improve on going forward as he heals up his ring?
Well, I mean, first of all, Keith's 11-6. That's 17 fights plus his 5 amateur fights. That's 22 fights. He was a state champion wrestler. I mean, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I think the first thing that Eric probably needs to do is pick his battles a little bit more wisely. That's definitely not a knock on him, because he showed he's a warrior, he's a fighter, and he comes out there to fight. But at the end of the day, 22 fights versus 5 just doesn't add up.
Yeah. And that's experience did show right there. Anything on the other side of the pro card? You had Alan Greenway taking home a win. You had Curtis Cloward, which he is really coming along.
Yes.
So nicely right now in his career.
Yeah, Curtis Cloward, what a success story. He started off as 0-3, 7-4 now, 6-fight win streak. I mean, just phenomenal young man. Best nickname in the business, the Angry Nerd. And just a likable guy. It's like I said up in the cage, if you don't like Curtis Cloward, you don't like nobody. So,
you don't like Santa Claus.
Yeah, I know. You don't even like the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. So hopefully we'll see Curtis back in the cage. And, I'm hearing some good things from up above. So hopefully we'll see him in bigger and better.
Are you talking about God, or are you talking about Kenny Letts?
Definitely. Well, I try to talk to God as often as possible.
But he really doesn't match make too
much. He doesn't match make too much. And actually, God match makes more than Kenny Letts does. So.
Got to choose your battles there. Choose your battles. We're gonna, before we start getting a bunch of religious letters out there, let's sort of move on. Got Willie Hodge. He took on the win over Travis Farrell. That was a pretty good fight right there.
I was, Willie came to our gym last week. Something happened at his gym. I don't want to go into all that on camera, so because I'm no telling where he'll be next week. But he came to our gym last week. Trained sporadically, mostly on his own. I know Travis very well, good friends with him. I'll be honest with you, what I thought Travis could do, he did, which was be explosive off of his back, be explosive on his feet. But the one thing I was a little bit disappointed in was that he didn't explode more on his feet. I felt like, from a fan's perspective, that if he had pushed the pace on his feet more and not just stalk Willie, he might have been able to edge out the win. Because I definitely think he stole that second round, but that was a hell of a fight. Travis Farrell's a monster. We're going to see him back in the cage. Willie Hosh, phenomenal athlete. I mean, just a monster. Just has the look. Got to work on some things there, but that was a phenomenal fight. I was impressed by both those guys.
Absolutely. Anything before we start running out of time here, anything impress you on the amateur fight?
You know, the Eric Martinez fight, Jose Davila fight lived up to what I thought it would be for their level. They really showed up and fought hard. You know, Eric Martinez, he's new to our school, new to the MMA scene. You know, tough fight for him, tough loss, but it was good to see him get in there and get it. Good to see Jose Davila get the win. Ryan Jett and Zachary Rhodes.
That was the wildest thing, just about the wildest thing I've seen inside of the cage there. I don't know if it was. I don't want to be mean. A little bit sloppy.
That was ridiculously sloppy. It was entertaining, and the fans loved it, and the crowd was on their feet. But for me as a coach, I was getting ready to double leg Jet through the cage when I got in between rounds. But you know, I will. You know, you can attribute some of his sloppiness to his shoulder came out in the first round, and so he couldn't use his left hand at all. But, you know, I think we're going to see more of both those guys. Both those guys are extremely tough.
And before I let you go, the Rodney Jordan, I guess one of you guys threw in the towel there. Just go ahead and sort of explain that, why you did that for that fight.
Well, number one, he was hurt, and I'm a firm believer in, you know, it's my duty to protect my fighters. And probably the most impressive thing, or my biggest accolade that I have, is that I've thrown the towel in 4 times, and I'll throw it in 40 more times if I have to. If one of my fighters, I know they're hurt and they're not performing, before I stand there and watch them get beat up, I'm going to throw the towel in, especially at the amateur level. We got in the cage, or in the first round, he threw a kick, and it hit John Henning's knee, and we heard just a big pop, and he started limping. We brought him in between the first and second round, and he said it was hurt. He didn't talk too much about it. He came back in between the second and third, and he said he couldn't feel his leg. So I told him, I said, if you don't show me something, I'm going to stop it. It wasn't going anywhere. It could only go south. So, you know, that's my job. Some people hate me for it, but I'm going to do it every time.
No, you can't fault him, because Rodney is a young guy, probably 18, 19, maybe 20 years old. He goes to school.
Yeah.
He wants to continue, I'm pretty sure, with his MMA career. Yeah. And even furthermore, he wants to continue on with a pretty healthy, productive life.
Absolutely.
So nobody should blame you for that. They might get angry, but
yeah,
you understand the reason.
Heard a couple boos, but I'm used to the boos.
You know, that's fine, but you're a good coach for that. And thank you for talking with me.
Oh, thank you.
Go get some beer. I'm about to do the same.
Yes, sir.
Watch out. Don't drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen.
Carolina Warrior TV.
There you
Pay
go.
attention. It's the only person I talk to.
The only person.
On a consistent basis. He's the one who'll talk to me.
And I know where you live, too. And I'm pretty good, too. So now if we get in trouble, I'm sending all the letters now.
We'll see you August 16th, Fight Lab 39, Cherokee, North Carolina, Harris Casino. Thank you, Chaz.
Thank you, bud. I'm about to take somebody's cookies, too.